Yo fam, welcome back. I'm Antoine and this is My Dharma Path, where sutras meet soul and joy becomes ritual. Today we're flowing through chapter 18 of the Lotus Sutra, Merits of Spontaneous Joy, or the benefits of responding with joy. This one's for anyone who's ever felt uplifted just hearing the Dharma. You don't need to memorize verses or chant for hours, just feel it, that joy. It's already planting seeds, it's already building temples, it's already sacred. Let's get into it. No robes, no gatekeeping, just your breath, your joy, and your Dharma path. I'm working with the Burton Watson translation. Here is the 18th chapter. It looks like this. And before I read, I'm going to go over some things that come up in the reading that might be difficult to understand. This chapter is a love letter to the power of joy. Bodhisattva Maitreya asks, what happens when someone hears the Lotus Sutra and feels spontaneous joy? The Buddha responds with a cascade of benefits. Even one moment of joy creates karmic momentum. Joyful listeners are reborn into good circumstances. They gain clarity, protection, and spiritual retention. Their joy is equal to building temples and making vast offerings. They're already walking the Bodhisattva path, even if they don't know it. This chapter says joy is not a side effect, it's the practice. Your vibration is your offering. Your energy becomes benefit. Okay. Before I read, I don't always do this, but this time the title of the sutra is Namas. It's Saddharma, not Namas. It's Saddharma Pundrika Sutra. And when they chant, they say Namaste Dharma Pundrika Sutra. I'm going to read chapter 18. At that time, the Bodhisattva and Bodhisattva Maitreya said to the Buddha, World Honored One, if there are good men or good women who, hearing this Lotus Sutra, respond with joy, what amount of blessings do they acquire? Then he spoke in verse, saying, after the World Honored One has passed into extinction, if those who hear this sutra are able to respond with joy, what amount of blessings will they acquire? At that time, the Buddha said to the Bodhisattva and Bodhisattva Maitreya, Ajita, after the Thus Come One has entered extinction, suppose there are monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, or other persons of wisdom, whether old or young, who hearing this sutra respond with joy, and leaving the Dharma assembly, go to some other place, perhaps a monk's quarters, a spot that is deserted and quiet, a city, a community, a settlement, or a village, and there, in accordance with what they heard, they put forth effort in preaching and expounding for the sake of their parents and relatives, their good friends and acquaintances. These persons, after hearing, responding with joy, and they too set about spreading the teachings. One person, having heard, responds with joy and spreads the teaching, and the teachings in this way continue to be handed along from one to another until they reach a 50th person. Can you explain the significance of that part of the chapter?
Certainly. This passage speaks to the chain reaction of joy and the spreading of the teachings. It highlights how one person's joyful reception of the sutra can inspire them to share it with others, and this continues person to person, extending the blessings far and wide, even to the 50th person. It shows the interconnectedness of all beings and underscores the power of joy as a catalyst for positive change and spiritual growth. Quite a profound message on the ripple effect of Dharma, isn't it?
Who is Ajita and who is Maitreya, and how are they the same and different?
Ajita is is another name for Maitreya, who is a Bodhisattva, a being destined for Buddhahood, who will become the future Buddha in Buddhist eschatology. While Ajita refers to his current state as a Bodhisattva, Maitreya is the name he'll take when he becomes a Buddha. They represent the same figure, just at different stages of spiritual development. Maitreya is often associated with loving kindness and is believed to appear in the future to renew the Dharma. Intriguing, right?
Okay, can you stand by while I read?
Absolutely. Take your time.
Ajita, the benefits received by this 50th good man or good woman who responds with joy, I will now describe to you. You must listen carefully. Imagine all the beings in the 6 paths of existence of 410,000 million Asmaka worlds, all the 4 kinds of living beings, those born from the egg, those born from the womb, those born from dampness, and those born by transformation, those with form, those without form, those with thought, those without thought, those who are not with thought, those who are not without thought, those are without legs, those with legs, 4 legs or many legs, and imagine that among all this vast number of living beings, a person should come who is seeking blessings and responding to their various desires, dispenses, objects of amusement, and playthings. To all these living beings, each one of these living beings is given gold, silver, lapis lazuli, seashell, agate, coral, amber, and other wonderful and precious gems, as well as elephants, horses, carriages, and palaces, and towers made of the 7 treasures, enough to fill a whole Jambudvipa. This great dispenser of charity, having handed out gifts in this manner for a full 80 years, then thinks to himself, I have already doled out objects of amusement and playthings to these living beings, responding to their various desires, but these living beings are now all old and decrepit, their years over 80, their hair white, their faces wrinkled, and before long they will die. Now I should employ the law of the Buddha to instruct and guide them. Okay, can we explain some of the symbology in this part of the chapter, please?
This part of the chapter uses vivid imagery to illustrate the boundless compassion of someone who first fulfills worldly desires with generosity and then sees the importance of offering spiritual guidance. The law of the Buddha refers to the Dharma, the teachings that lead to enlightenment. The passage underscores the ultimate act of kindness, guiding beings towards spiritual awakening, especially as they face the end of their lives. It emphasizes the transformative power of the Dharma over material gifts. Beautiful imagery, isn't it?
Okay, I'm going to go on reading. Stand by, please.
Of course. Continue whenever you're ready. I'm here.
Immediately he gathers all the living beings together and propagates the law among them, teaching, benefiting, and delighting them. In one moment, all are able to attain the way of Sota Apana. What is that, Sota Apana?
Srotabana, often translated as stream enterer, is the first stage of enlightenment in Buddhism. It signifies a practitioner who has entered the stream, leading to nirvana, breaking free from the first 3 fetters: false views of the self, doubt, and attachment to rites and rituals. In this state, one is assured of reaching full enlightenment within a maximum of 7 more lives. It's a significant milestone on the path to liberation. Ready to continue?
Let's talk about the ways that come after Sotapanna, the Sakri Dagamin and Anagamin.
Sure, happy to explain those. After Srotabana, the next stage is Sakridagami, or once returner. A Sakridagami will be reborn only once more before achieving enlightenment, having weakened more fetters. Then comes Anagami, or non-returner, a practitioner who won't be reborn in the human realm, attain nirvana in a higher realm. Both states reflect deeper purification of mind and progression towards liberation.
Okay, so I'm going to go on reading the way of Srotapana, the way of Srakadagmin, and the way of Anagamin, and the way of the Arhat to exhaust all outflows and enter deeply into meditation. All attain freedom and become endowed with the 8 emancipations. Now, what is your opinion? Are the benefits gained by this great dispenser of charity many or not? Maitreya said to the Buddha, World-honored one, this man's benefits are very many indeed, immeasurable and boundless. Even if this dispenser of charity had merely given all those playthings to living beings, his benefits would still be immeasurable, and how much more so when he has enabled them to attain the fruits of arhatship. The Buddha said to Maitreya, I will now state the matter clearly. For you, this man gave all these objects of amusement to the living beings in the 6 paths of existence, or 410,000 million Ashmaka worlds, and also made it possible for them to attain the fruits of arhatship. But the benefits that he gains do not match the benefits of the 50th person who hears just one verse of the Lotus Sutra and responds with joy. They are not equal to 1/100th, 1,000th, 1 part, and 100,000, 10,000, a million. Indeed, it is beyond the power of calculation, simile, or parable to express the comparison. Ajita, the benefits gained by even the 50th person who hears the Lotus Sutra as it is handed along to him and responds with joy are immeasurable, boundless ashmakas in number. How much greater then are those of the very first person in the assembly who, on hearing the sutra, responds with joy. His blessings are greater by an immeasurable, boundless asmaka number and are in fact comparable. Moreover, Ajita, suppose a person for the sake of this sutra visits a monk's quarters and, sitting or standing, even for a moment, listens to it and accepts it. As a result of the benefits so obtained, when he is reborn in his next existence, he will enjoy the finest, most superior, and wonderful elephants, horses, and carriages, and palanquins decked with rare treasures, and will mount up to the heavenly palaces. Or suppose there is a person who is sitting in the palace where the law is expounded, and when another person appears, the first person urges him to sit down and listen, or offers to share his seat, and so persuades him to sit down. The benefits gained by this person will be such that when he is reborn, he will be in a place where the Lord Chakra is seated, where the heavenly king Brahma is seated, or where a wheel-turning sage king is seated. Could you explain Chakra, Brahma, and a wheel-turning sage king, please?
Brahma is a major deity in Hinduism, often regarded as the creator of the universe. A wheel-turning sage king, or Chakravarti, is a universal monarch who rules ethically and benevolently over the entire world. Both figures symbolize supreme authority and wisdom in their respective traditions.
Okay, and Brahma is the creator in Hinduism, is that right?
Yes, that's right. In Hinduism, Brahma is revered as the creator of the universe and one of the Trimurti, along with Vishnu the preserver and Shiva the destroyer.
The Trimurti. And in Buddhism, is Brahma accepted as as a creator of the universe, or no?
In Buddhism, Brahma is seen as a powerful deity, but not as a creator of the universe. The concept of a singular creator god is not central to Buddhist teachings. Instead, Brahma is respected as a guardian of teachings and a figure who encourages the Buddha to share his insights with the world.
Excellent. I need to go on reading. Please stand by.
Sure thing. I'm here when you're ready.
Ajita, suppose there is a person who speaks to another person saying there is a sutra called the Lotus. Let us go together and listen to it. And suppose having been urged, the other person goes and even for an instant listens to the sutra. The benefits of the first person will be such that when he is reborn, he will be reborn in the same place as Dhrani Bodhisattvas. He will have keen faculties and wisdom. For 100, 1,000, 10,000 ages, he will never be struck dumb. His mouth will not emit a foul odor. His tongue will never be afflicted, nor will his mouth be afflicted. His teeth will not be stained or black, nor will they be yellow or widely spaced, nor will they be missing or fall out or be at an angle or crooked. His lips will not drop down or curl back or be rough or chapped or afflicted with sores or misshapen or twisted or too thick or too big or black or discolored or unsightly in any way. His nose will not be so broad or flat or crooked or too highly arched. His face will not be swarthy, nor will it be long and narrow or sunken and distorted. He will not have a single unsightly feature. His lips, tongue, and teeth will be handsomely proportioned. His nose will be long and high. His face round and full. His eyebrows long and set high. His forehead broad, smooth, and well shaped, and he will be endowed with all the features proper to a human being. In each existence he is born into, he will see the Buddha, hear this law, and have faith in his teachings. Why are we talking about somebody's appearance here?
In the context of the Lotus Sutra, the description of physical appearance is symbolic. It reflects the inner purity and virtues that come from embracing and sharing the teachings. It's not about superficial looks, but about the transformative power of faith and compassion. The sutra uses such imagery to illustrate the profound benefits of following its teachings.
Okay, I'm going to go on reading.
Sure, I'll be here whenever you're ready to continue.
Ajita, just observe, the benefits gained merely by encouraging one person to go and listen to the law are such as this. How much more than if one single-mindedly hears, preaches, reads, and recites the sutra, and before the great assembly makes distinctions for the sake of people and practices it as the sutra instructs. At that time, the world-honored one, wishing to state his meaning, once more spoke in verse form, saying, if someone in the Dharma assembly is able to hear the sutra, even just one verse, and responding with joy, preaches it to others, and in this way the teachings are handed along till they reach the 50th person. The blessings gained by this last person are such as I will now define. Suppose there is a great dispenser of charity who bestows goods on immeasurable multitudes, doing this for a full 80 years, responding to each person's desires, seeing the signs of decrepitude and old age, the white hair and wrinkled face, the missing teeth, the withered form. He thinks, their death is not far off. I must now teach them so they can gain the fruits of the way. Immediately for their sake he employs an expedient means, preaching the true law of nirvana. Nothing in this world is lasting or firm, but all are like bubbles, foam, heat, shimmer. Therefore all of you must quickly learn to hate it and be gone. When the people hear this law, all are able to become arhats, endowed with the 6 transcendental powers, the 3 understandings, and 8 emancipations. But the 50th person who hears one verse of this Lotus Sutra and responds with joy gains blessings that are far greater, beyond description, by simile or parable. And if one who has had the teachings passed along to him receives blessings that are immeasurable, how much more so one who in the Dharma assembly first hears the sutra and responds with joy. Suppose someone encourages another person, urging him to go and listen to the Lotus, saying, "This sutra is profound and wonderful, hard to encounter in 1,000, 10,000 kalpas." And suppose as urged, the person goes to listen. Even though he listens for just a moment, the blessings that the first person gets in reward, I will now describe in detail. Age after age, no afflictions of the mouth, no teeth missing, yellow or blackened, lips that are not thick curled or defective, no hateful features, a tongue not dry, black, or too short, nose high, long, and straight, forehead broad, smooth, and well-shaped, face and eyes all properly aligned and impressive, the kind people delight to look at, breath free of foul odor, a fragrance of utpala flowers constantly emitted by the mouth. Suppose one goes to the monk's quarters expressly to listen to the Lotus Sutra and listens with joy for just a moment. I will now describe his blessings. In existences to come, among heavenly and human beings, he will acquire wonderful elephants, horses, carriages, palanquins adorned with rare jewels, and will mount on the palaces of heaven. If, in the place where the law is expounded, one encourages someone to visit and hear the sutra, the blessings he acquires will enable him to gain the seat of Shapra, Brahma, and the will turner. How much more so if one listens single-mindedly, explains and expounds the meaning, and practices the sutra as the sutra instructs, that person's blessings know no bounds. No bounds.
Explain.
All right, that's chapter 18. If you ever smiled, nodded, or felt something shift when the Dharma dropped, this sutra says you're already practicing. Your joy is a ritual. Your vibration is testimony. Your energy becomes benefit. This is My Dharma Path. I'm Antoine. Thanks for walking with me. Until next time, keep your joy spontaneous, your breath sacred, and your blessings bilingual. Thanks for listening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.